Now, your first book was about manufacturing, and manufacturing is something the United States is thought by many people not to be as good at as we were 40, 50 years ago. Is that fair or not? That's a perception, at least.
Yes, that's fair. And I addressed it in the book because we think smokestacks and we think of rivers on fire when we use the word. Branding is everything. And today, everything gets branded in a heartbeat, right, through Instagram and you name it. And as a result of that, there's a perception that manufacturing is yesterday's sector. And that is so erroneous because pretty much everything in modern life is made. I used to say at Dow, we've only got three functions, okay? To invent, to make, and to sell. The rest is overhead. And the make part is actually very connected to the invent part. China was brilliant in its strategy through the 30 years of Deng Xiaoping because it attracted assembly and then insisted on R&D. There were only 10 R&D labs foreign owned in China in 1990. By 2010, there were 40,000 foreign R&D labs. Why? Because they wanted to know not just how to make and assemble, they wanted to invent all the way back to the material, to the battery, to the products. And to do that, they needed R&D. Manufacturing and R&D live together, okay? They live together through prototyping and scaling. And the topics of invention and innovation are in manufacturing because you actually learn while you make. And then when you digitize, you learn more. Digitizing manufacturing is a massive innovation opportunity. And frankly, one of the things that the United States is phenomenal at is we know how to innovate and be entrepreneurs and how to scale. But if we've lost our ability to actually make, then we start to atrophy the innovation side.
Well, the conventional wisdom is that the United States can't manufacture things at costs that are attractive to markets, so that's why we've outsourced it. Do you think that's unfair?
It was fair during what I call the loss of industries such as textiles and footwear and clothing, which were very labor intensive. It's completely not the case with things that make the iPhone, okay, and all the circuitry and semiconductors and high-end technology content parts, EVs. This is where the United States is actually the best at, and it's not labor cost driven. So offshoring and outsourcing and moving things for labor costs, fine, they went to countries that have lower labor costs, the Bangladeshs and the Vietnams. But the high-end manufacturing, the quality manufacturing for today's and tomorrow's technology innovations, we should be the epicenter of that right here in this country because the labor cost is actually not the relevant cost. The relevant cost is actually the raw material, the supply chain, and we have the market. This is one of the few countries in the world that can say, I'm one country, I have a massive market, and by the way, I'm endowed with a lot of people and natural resources. That's manufacturing.